This is Tony Chimmel, and I'd like to introduce the hosts of the Game Marks podcast, George Feis and Johnny Clash.
Welcome to the Game Marks podcast, where each and every week we take a deep dive into the good, the bad, and the awesome of wrestling video games. I'm the man they call Johnny Clash.
And I am George Feis, and today we are playing Bad Girls Wrestling.
Bad girls, bad girls.
Is this game going to get a play it forever? Woo! Or a future endeavor?
You're fired!
Also, talk about the new WWE 2K24 trailer and some new game reveals.
And don't forget to please subscribe and leave a 5-star review for this podcast on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, and follow us on all forms of social media at GameMarksPod. And don't forget, you can get this episode early and ad-free at patreon.com/GameMarksPod, along with the show notes, Discord access, live recordings, giveaways, and more.
Hell yes. Johnny Clash, let's kick things off right here, right now, talking about a little follow-up from last week's game. A oddly surprising, fun game, Royal Pro Wrestling for the Panasonic 3DO. How you feeling a week out?
Fun clips to go back and watch. Definitely fun clips. I went back and I played myself on like a bigger screen, and it was even more fun to see the details in the game and to watch our YouTube. It's like, wow, this game, they went all out here. This is pretty cool.
There's a lot of small details that kind of can go not missed, but you have to play it in the right settings. It's got to be on the right screen. You want to kind of blow it up so that it looks right, plays right. You know, those little details. But let's get into this.
Wait, hang on. One thing we haven't talked about, we kind of skipped talking about this in general, was Game Marks Mania happened last weekend. We didn't talk about it last week because by the time the episode dropped on Monday, we recorded the previous week. We established a date, the time, we dropped in your feed when it was going to be. We had a very successful day. We streamed for about 3.5 hours. We played everything. We started with Fortnite. He was John Cena. I was Becky Lynch, so we made it more wrestling. We played Fire Pro Wrestling World. We played WWE 2K23, which I think I had the most fun playing out of all of them.
I gotta tell you, that was I've been playing it back. Like, I've been back into it since playing.
Yeah, like I'm thinking about, when can I play that next? Which usually happens right before
the next one comes out.
And then you're like, I don't know. But right now, with that stream, we are at, let me do some quick math here. We are at $1,687 for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. There is going to be one more raffle this week. I think I'm going to go get it. I want to show it on camera.
Oh.
I'll be right back.
Go do it.
So, courtesy of Best Batch Promotions, our friend the Elder Spork, is this beautiful. Look at that hologram. Raw the first 25 years. But this book is signed by you name it. They're in here. That not only those signatures, not only the back page. My God. Jacqueline, X-Pac, Mark Henry.
Wow.
Kurt Angle. Ted DiBiase, Marty Jannetty. The pages themselves are randomly signed as well by other wrestlers. There are, God knows how many in here. This is all thanks to, like we said, Best Batch Promotions, The Elder Spork, Jim Ross, Duke the Dumpster, T.L. Hopper, Devon Dudley, DDP, wow. I think that is. Could be wrong. Super Crazy, Doink the Clown, Kevin Kelly. Wow. I kind of want to keep this for myself.
I was just going to say, that's a cool piece for anybody to have.
So you will get to win this. We're going to post the details this week. And that is our final giveaway. That's kind of putting an end to gamery for this year, and it's been a great one. I'm very happy with where we're at.
Absolutely. Best thing that we do on this podcast is raise money for St. Jude. So happy to do it. Happy to wrap up another year of Gamery. Thank you everyone for your support each and every year, whether you've been with us since the first year or this is your first year. John and I greatly appreciate it. But with that, let's move on to 2K24. The official video trailer was released and it shows a lot, John. First impressions, what jumped out at you? What caught your attention the most?
Muhammad Ali, for one. That was awesome that he's going to be in this game. The Fiend was actually seen in the showcase, as was Ronda Rousey.
Yep.
The ambulance match is going to be awesome. Something we didn't mention last week was if you fight backstage during the ambulance match, which is cool that you're able to even do.
Absolutely.
There's an ambulance back there that you could also finish the match in.
That's so cool.
That's really cool. The casket match looks really cool. I think they put together a nice presentation for the referee. What's it called?
Special guest referee.
Special guest referee. Shows Orton doing the 2 count, the slow 2 count, and then the RKO. I'm happy to have a casket match back. Show the ref pushing them in. We won't really get into it. The covers changed. Certain people were removed. John Cena was moved up a little bit on the cover. It's going to be good. It's
the
going to be
backstage
really good.
Fighting seems so like I don't know if it's just the camera angles or the lighting effects that they did, but it seems different.
Yeah.
My
God. SmackDown Hotel posted, finish your story, the new cover reveal, and it's 2K24, but it's The Rock from his 2K15 cover or 14 cover. That's hilarious.
But it looks like a lot of the things that they updated seem to be how entrance attires and like fabrics kind of move.
Mm-hmm.
Like it almost looks like they've kind of been like, all right, hair is always going to be a tricky thing. We'll try to make it work as best as we can. But it feels like the fabrics for Cody's entrance jacket has like the feathers on the back. Shawn Michaels has the the chains from his that I don't even know what you call that. His entrance gear. It just seems like they flow more and there's more movement to them. Like they feel real.
Yeah. They also added a new blood system where it's going to drip over your face and stay on the mat throughout the match.
Stay on the mat.
So it's not exactly going to be whatever that one game we played where it just poured out of your face, but it will be there. Face paint gradually comes off during the match.
That's cool.
Like Warrior's going to lose his face paint during the match, which is awesome.
That's super, super cool.
They said the 7 real referees are going to be in there. They showed Jessica Carr and Charles Robinson. About time we get Charlie in a game.
What about 4-person dive on the outside that they showed?
4-person, 2, 3, 4-person dive on the outside. I mean, it only makes sense. That's great. China, probably the best form of China we've seen in any game so far. Way better than 23 and 22, and obviously 20. That bazooka entrance looks amazing.
I was hyped for 23. I think that they did a good job like hyping that game up, and I think they're doing the same thing here with 24. I am excited. I'm ready for this game to come out, and yeah, the more that they release, the more excited that I get. And yeah, I think that this is going to be the year that so I was trying to think of how we can make video content for this together, and I have an idea.
Okay. I'm all ears.
Universe mode, not GM mode. You and I do universe mode, player 1, player 2, and we just each episode is a week, and we just play through a week.
Let's do it. I think that'll be a lot of fun.
And it's short.
It could be
in there. Super short, super quick, however we want it to be.
We could make GMP64 as a brand.
Could be. Could do that if we wanted to. But short, sweet, we just play through the matches, no storylines, let the commentary, let the in-game commentary do its thing. We just book the matches. little bit less of a production value in sense of time constraints that we have now.
I think you're onto something.
I think we can do it. I think that's my plan that I want to do this year.
All right.
We're going to finish the story for GMP 64.
I'm looking back here at SmackDown Hotel, what they posted. They added Kane versus Triple H at WrestleMania 15 as a possible showcase match because of China's gear. And this could also be a match where you unlock the new Fireball Payback, as they actually use that. 3 running corner attacks now, as opposed to 2 when you're leaning in the corner. It now has light, heavy, and grab attacks from that situation, and rebound moves after Irish whips have been fixed. George, finally, there's no more chest bumping. You now just pass by your opponent and run.
That's what more can I ask for? That is essentially that entire Rumble video. Is that
the chest bump? Yeah. So that's so cool. Oh. Friend of the pod making their WWE 2K debut, Chelsea Green.
Oh God, I was hoping that you were going to do it, and you did.
I didn't do it justice, but yeah.
That's for someone who we know and have both spoken to about doing mocap for the game, to see her in the game, and then also to kind of be on the other side of it, where she posted on Twitter a couple days ago, where she was just like, hey, I was the person that usually did mocap for the WWE games
7 years ago.
And I don't know who did my mocap. So I would like to know what person did my mocap for the game this year.
I wonder if anyone answered. I'm going to actually look.
Because it was her and Santana Garrett, right?
Yeah. Doesn't look like...
Usually that comes out...
responded.
You have to... Like when I made our list of things like for that was going through the manuals, like the online manuals that were posted after the game released.
All right. Well, we'll figure that out. That's really cool.
Find that out.
Also, in other news, Swerve Strickland is dropping in AEW Fight Forever on Valentine's Day. So enjoy that, guys.
It's a good Valentine's Day.
That's all we got for that game. But George, that's about it for the follow-up. That's about it for the news. Are you ready for the deep dive?
Let's...
A Bad Girls Wrestling game.
I'm not ready, but we're going to do it, so let's go. Guys, if you want your beard to be soft and smell great, then you need Mad Cat Beard Care. Their products are all natural and made to order with vitamins and natural oils to moisturize your skin and to help make your beard healthy and strong.
Our exclusive scent, Play It Forever, is a blood orange, black clove, and vanilla scented beard balm or beard oil that can make your beard have a rich but not overpowering scent. Plus, a portion from their sales go towards finding care for stray cats, covering their medical bills and finding them safe places and forever homes.
Use code GameMarks to save yourself 15% when you place an order over at madcatbeardcare.com. That's 15% off with code GameMarks. And remember, the Mad Cat makes a happy beard. All right, the deep dive brought to you by our friends over at Mad Cat Beard Care. Use code GameMarks for 15% off your order at madcatbeardcare.com. We've got our own scent, Play It Forever, blood orange, vanilla, and black clove. And also, Major Wrestling Figure Podcast has their own scents. Our good buddy Swoggle has his own scent too. You can get the whole family all in one big, nice beard care pack. madcatbeardcare.com. Use code GameMarks. Save yourself 15%. Bad Girls Wrestling, which is a sentence that I never thought that I would ever have to say, was released in 2018 with the latest version being released April 28th, 2022. It is available for the iOS and Android. Published by Bulky Sports, who has a couple of games that are available for your iOS and Android. They have a range of games. There's
all
some
similar style games.
Yeah, they fall into the same basic control scheme. Developed by Bulky Sports Android and Fighting Arena iOS and other wrestling games in 2022. You've got a long list here. It is WWE 2K22. That's it. That's all I got.
Now let's read the description here.
My guest,
because we
John.
have to. Choose your favorite wrestling diva, bikini girl, or superstar hero from the Bad Girls Club and use your epic boxing moves, karate skills, and give deadly martial art punches in the street fighting against mean girls. This game is offline and free wrestling between boxing, kung fu, and karate fighters. Now, the same way I read that, where it barely makes any sense, is exactly the way it is written. It is copied and pasted into our notes here. So that's when you know what this game is about to be.
Yeah.
So there's different modes in here. When you start, you're immediately thrown into the story mode of the game, which is pretty much to just keep winning consecutive matches. I'll say this. Off the bat, the game is really nice. Really pretty.
Presentation-wise, yeah.
Yeah, from the arena to the way the wrestlers actually look, the crowd, everything. We'll deep dive into that later. It looks nice. But the story mode you're thrown in, it's the typical on-screen controls where you have the thumbstick on the left with the block, and on the right is all your attacks. And that's really it. You kind of just go and you attack, you wrestle. We got thrown into a surprise Money in the Bank match, which instead of pin, the 3 count, which you only have to tap a meter on the 3 count, it's to just climb a ladder. So that was okay, I guess.
There's a lot of the game circles around a lot of quick time events.
A lot of them. I don't know. It's not really much of a story, as more a career, I guess I would say. There's also knockout mode where different it's written as top bad women wrestlers challenge in different fighting levels. However, no second chances. It's pretty much a slobber knocker match. You're a gauntlet. Your health continues throughout, and that's it. If you lose, you lose. It's very easy. You could just keep going, and I think I know why, because every 3 matches is an ad.
It is. There's an ad bar on the top of the screen, and it never goes away.
No.
And after every match, there's a lot
of ads. There's a lot of ads. If you check out our gameplay, I don't know how many George is going to actually keep in the YouTube video, but
it's a lot of editing.
Like majority of the time we were playing this game was ads. And not only like good ads, it's those games that you see, like the zombie games, and you're not sure if they would actually look like that if you downloaded them.
It's the games that you see
that key in the water.
Yeah, that you're like, is this a cool puzzle solving game, or is this actually something else? Like, is it going to be where this is not the game that it actually is?
It's, I don't know. Like, we praise Rocket League, we praise Marvel Snap for not having ads, and I think I'm so used to that. I don't really play any games with ads, but there's just so many in here. I play Superstar Hockey, but there's an ad only to get coins.
This feels like a excessive amount of ads.
Yeah, I think it's just farming ad money. That's really all this game is.
Yeah, I would be willing to bet that that's probably the case.
Even your coins. You could unlock everyone by just watching an ad. That's how you unlock the rosters, just watching an ad. That's how you unlock different match types. That's how you just keep going in the game, is watching ads. You lose the knockout match, guess what? Watch an ad, you're right back in.
It's confusing.
Yeah. There's also in here, there's rewards each game. There's daily rewards, which is always nice in a game. Again, watch an ad, get another reward. Oh, man. There's versus play as well. You could also do multiplayer online and offline, so that's fun.
There are a lot of games that follow this model, but I don't know. I feel like a lot of games have ads, but they're at least you get. I can't even say that you don't get rewarded, but like, I don't know. There's just something about this game that you're just like, cool, I'm going to watch this ad and then I'm going to get something. But is it worth what you get for the amount of ads that you have to watch?
I don't know. I honestly don't know who's sitting here and playing the game with all those ads. It's not enjoyable at all. And I think it's actually masking what could be, with a few little tweaks, even though this game has been around forever, a decent game.
There's a lot of reused assets is the word we want to use.
I would say so, yeah.
There's some voice lines that are definitely not from not original recordings, and they're not stock audio. This game raises more questions than it gives answers, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I could agree with that.
It's just there's a lot. There's a lot, but there's a lot going on, but there's not a lot. If that makes sense. It's a lot going on with not a lot of substance.
It's just I don't know. I feel like it could be something, and either they don't want it to be that, and they just want the ad money, or they don't know how. I don't know. But there is an unlockable tier of this game. I think it's like $2 or something, where you could wipe the ads.
Yeah.
Now, I read some reviews. People are saying you still get them with that tier. Whether it's just that little bar during the match, maybe.
Oh.
That's kind of, I don't know, lawsuit territory.
That's interesting.
I don't know. I saw screenshots of this game. I was into it because it does look like it took assets from like WWE games. It's got Money in the Bank. It's got all these cool match types. It's really nicely presented, but it's just not that.
I was just going to say, it's one of those games where this game is a lot like the ads that run in the game, where it's just like, is this the game that's being advertised? And will the game that I am hoping and looking to play be the one that actually opens when I click this icon?
It's like when a new game comes out and you're like, oh my God, this game looks amazing. And then you realize that that's not the gameplay trailer.
Yeah.
I would go as far as saying Death Stranding is one of those games. Beautiful. The absolutely most beautiful game. But there is a clear difference between the gameplay and like the cinematics.
Yeah.
Norman Reedus' hair just blowing in the wind so nicely.
Getting a sequel.
Maybe I'll finish the first one by then. Probably not.
Wonder if our buddy's going to be back in it doing mocap.
I don't think that's possible, but we'll get into that another time. What do you say we take a break here, and then we're going to talk about the actual wrestlers, the roster, the artwork, and all of the above.
All right.
All right, George, let's talk about... We're not going to really break down a roster here because there really isn't one. It's just multiple... It's one name. Like, they have like one name. They're named randomly. It's like they went to Women Wrestler Generator. There's like Bellatrix and Celine. Now, wait, speaking of Celine, each wrestler... There's tiers to the wrestlers. There's the basic tier, which you unlock with an ad.
Yes.
Then there's like the deluxe wrestlers, which is also an ad, I think a longer ad or multiple. Like Celine, who looked like a female Danhausen, who enters the ring in a casket, and the whole match floats and throws these orbs at you. So that's like a cool detail that is lost behind whatever the hell this game is.
So here's something that I'm noticing now as I'm looking through the screenshots in our notes and comparing it to what we played in the game. The wrestlers' names are not the same.
Oh, no?
So in our game, all of the wrestlers had one name, where you got like Bellatrix or you had Celine. The screenshots in our notes have Beth Foe. There's Charlotte Flint. There's Becky Lynns.
I think there's been so many iterations of this game since 2018. It's very confusing researching this game, let me tell you, because there is multiple versions of this game by different people with the same name.
Yeah, so there's Bad Girls Wrestling, then there's Bad Girls Wrestling Game, then there's Bad Girls Wrestle?
There's like MMA versions.
Yeah.
This, the one we're talking about right now, and I think the only one we're going to talk about, is Bad Girls Wrestling Game 2023, it's called.
Yeah. it almost is like there was one base game and they just uploaded it multiple times and then just only updated one.
Yeah, I don't know. But they're all named simple. They're Scarlet and
and
that.
They all look the same. There's in one of the screenshots, it looks like there's one of the characters from Fortnite's in it. Like there's a lot. There's a lot of we'll say parody.
Borrowed assets like money bank briefcase.
Yeah. There's the WrestleMania what did we say it was?
30?
The New Orleans one?
Yeah.
That is very they pay tribute to that WrestleMania stage. There's the title that you can win is the WWE Divas Championship.
The thing is, they paid someone a lot of money to make this game so nice.
If they're reusing assets, maybe it wasn't as bad as you think.
I don't know. I think it is as bad as I think. I don't know. I can't say they ripped this stuff from WWE games because I don't know that for sure.
No, as far as I know, the only thing that is ripped, as far as I know, the only thing that is ripped from WWE games is there's a voice line from Jerry Lawler that you hear where he just says, "Here we go," which I'm pretty sure is just from a SmackDown vs. Raw game.
This could be something like, remember Casino Battle or whatever? Double or Nothing Casino, how that was a reskin. This could very well be a reskin of another game that exists.
Yeah, it could be a reskin of a reskin of a reskin.
That happens in mobile games all the time just to get ad
constantly.
Money. So it's very possible this is that, or this was the first one and then multiples followed it. We'll never know. And honestly, I don't know if I care enough to know. This game's not on the top of my priority list of research.
This game has there's a lot of, like I said before, it asks more questions than it answers.
Yeah, I don't know. Let's get into I just don't know. Let's get into what everything looks like, what the pretty package here is. We said the wrestlers look good. They look good. They look like wrestlers. Most of them look like actual wrestlers. Some of them look like the typical creator wrestler you would see in a SmackDown vs. Raw game that just has every asset stacked on top of it that's possible.
Yeah, that's a perfect description. The thing that confuses me is that the icon is just a screenshot from the game.
Yes, it is. It's just a screenshot.
There's no logo. There's a title screen or a splash.
I guess you don't need the logo because if you're clicking it, it says it underneath.
Yeah, but think of how many things have like icons and stuff. Like,
I think that was the least of this game's worries.
Yeah.
You see wrestling, you're like, oh, cool. I'm going to click that. I'm going to download that. And that's probably how Wrestling Empire got half of its start, to be honest. When you search WWE, that's like the second game that comes up.
Yeah, there could be tags, though. Yeah.
Then M. Dickey will yell at you on Twitter and have a bad day, but that's besides the point. One thing that really bothered me in here, some arenas were so drawn out, like that WrestleMania 31 we were talking about. When you're
so
playing,
much detail.
You look out into the crowd, it looks like, I don't want to compare, but almost Rumble Roses-esque, where the arena looks so nice and it looks so unrealistic. It's so nice because it's huge. It's like Wembley. It's rows and rows back. It's so many people in the crowd. The ring ropes are very loose in every match, so there's not going to be any 450s. But then again, there's not really much rope running in here anyway, and there's
no running, period, which is odd. But you can dash back and forth. There's
the only thing I was thinking is maybe that's one of the unlockable moves as you hit the ropes, like Champions, like it's a little cinematic.
Oh yeah,
but
like
we didn't get that far.
It's tied to a specific move. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, like you're only getting punches and kicks and combos and drop kicks, super kicks, but you can add on, like we unlocked a code breaker. We unlocked random moves like that fill up. We didn't talk about the weapons either. Because when your little green meter on the bottom fills up, a weapon gets thrown in the ring, Warzone style.
And you launch into the air.
Jump in the air and come down with a table, a chair, a guitar, fire extinguisher, whatever it is, and you just smack them right over the head with it, and it takes a lot of health.
It might be one of the cooler animations in the game. I mean, the combos are not. That's the thing I will say. The animations in this game, while some of the models themselves bend and twist and contort in weird ways, like when they're getting up or after they get hit with a move, like there's some janky model physics that happen. For the most part, the animations of like the punches and the kicks and they're not bad. Like, are some of them a little unrealistic? Like, are you gonna do like a double front flip into a like RVD kick? Probably not. It's maybe only off the top rope. But some of the animation is a little exaggerated, fantastical, if you will. But they're clean.
They're clean. I'm looking at other games by Bulky Sports, which they don't really have a social media presence other than people which look like fake accounts posting them. I don't know. This is one of those like overseas Fiverr games, I feel like.
It's very possible.
Oh, man. I'm just confused. Did you know? Did you know the latest update for this game came out as recently as January 19th, 2024?
Did you know another version of Bad Girls Wrestling games exists? Apparently this version is made by Saeed Ali Jafar and is also available in the App Store.
So we touched on that, but looking at it, it's the same name. It's the same style game, but it looks like a little different. The HUDs are the same. The characters look different. There's like a blatant ripoff of, who's this? Oh my God. Emma, Eva Marie, Rhonda. There's a referee in the ring, but the HUD's the same. The bottom controls are the same.
Yeah.
Which just makes me think that this is just a copy-paste game.
Yeah, but mobile games, this was one of the problems that I knew that we were going to face when we started this podcast, is that there's so many mobile games that it's almost impossible to play them all, because there's so many ones that have been made, then been pulled from the app stores because they got cease and desist, or they just weren't functioning, or they weren't even really games. Like, there's been games that I've seen that were advertised as wrestling games that you open up the app and it ends up taking you to like a different app, like a different page on the app store to download a different app. Like, there's so many. And originally it was the rule that we were gonna have was only well-known like release games by like TNA, AEW, WWE, but then we miss out on other ones. Like, we miss out on all the M. Dickey games, and we miss out on games like WrestleQuest, and there's a lot of other cool big wrestling company wrestling games that are available. So we decided to not use that rule, and here we are. Today we're playing Bad Girls Wrestling. Win some, lose some.
I would assume the Android store has even more than the iPhone store, but I just typed in wrestling games.
Okay.
Number 1, Rise to the Top comes out because it's got an ad. Wrestling Empire, Wrestling Revolution 3D, Mayhem, Pro Wrestling, what is this? Super Fight 3D, which looks like the game we're playing today, something similar. Fake John Cena, fake Big Show. Champions, Wrestling GM, just Wrestling GM.
Oh.
Apparently EA Sports UFC 2 is on here, which looks really cool, and I might download. Wrestling Revolution, Wrestle Rumble.
Pro Wrestling Super Fight 3D has 22,000 reviews.
Yeah, you could pay anyone to do anything. Let's see. Supercard, Real Wrestling Fighting, Mortal Kombat, 80s Wrestling. We love that game. That's really it. A lot of boxing games. Oh, what is this? Real Wrestling Championship.
Oh.
Only 220 ratings, but it looks identical to what we just played. I'm downloading it. I gotta see.
Oh boy.
Oh, it's by Saeed Ali whatever.
Oh, Saeed Ali Jafar?
Yeah.
Okay.
The first rating says this is the best one because I'm a big fan of WWE. That's where we're at with this game.
Okay.
This is, oh my God, Wrestling Game Revolution. There's Rowdy Wrestling. I didn't know there was this much. Rumble Wrestling Fighters. Rowdy City. Did I just say that? Rowdy City Wrestling? Wrestling Trivia. Gym Fight Wrestling. Oh my God. Wait, what is this? This looks nice. Pro Wrestling Star Fighter. There's a screenshot of All Stars in here, George.
Like WWE All Stars.
Look, can you see it?
Yes.
Swipe.
Oh, yeah, that's All Stars.
It even says All Stars.
That is.
This is a cesspool, everybody.
Yeah, mobile games is a hard. It's a hard topic to cover. So we'll make our own weird rules. We'll drop in these kinds of games every once in a while. But if it ends up being we're going to play like 20 something games that are all like this, it may not be worth it. But what about what everyone else has to say about this game, John? Are you ready to take me through some ratings and reviews?
All right, cue that music. Let's relax. All right, the Apple Store, 4 out of 6 out of 5 out of 1.5 thousand ratings. The Google Play Store, a 4.5 stars out of 180,000 reviews with 10 million downloads.
Wow.
It says contains ads. No shit. Now, some of these reviews say, I'm going to read a good and a little mediocre one here. Even being asked right after the first fight, I can honestly say, what does that mean? That the gameplay really...
right after the first fight, it's asked you to review.
Okay. Yeah, it did. The character and animations are excellent and don't seem really demanding for the Android platform. Perhaps some physics in the future to the characters to add a little more realism, but the fun can go on with several fight moves to use, and I see lots of potential. Also love this idea for a game. That was in 2021, so 3 years after, he sees a lot of potential. That's really good. Now, March of 22, a little more recent, this one says ads. Yes, I know they are removable for $1.99, but I can't get into a game long enough to decide if I want to enjoy it enough without an ad popping up for a game asking for money. Also used coins to buy 2 wrestlers and an ad for a third, and that didn't credit for watching, but can't figure out how to actually use them. Might be fun in the future, but the matches themselves are too clunky and the presentation needs a lot of work. I think that really said a lot of what we're saying.
1,800 people found that review useful.
Yeah. That's pretty nail on the head right there.
Yeah, you know what, John? It's time to rate the games.
The game!
All right.
John, I'm going back to back. We're back to back 3, 2, 1.
Okay. Hit me with
3,
it.
2, 1. Future
Remove
Endeavor.
app.
Yeah.
You're fired!
Or as our good buddy Swoggle likes to say, we rate the games game over or future endeavor. There's no good one. Everything is bad, according to Swoggle.
Yeah. It's a big future endeavor.
Yeah, it's a double future endeavor. It's an adpocalypse mobile game.
Now, what are there any mobile games you play? George, hang on. I want to ask you 2 things.
Yeah.
1, I want to know all the games you have on your phone.
Okay.
And 2, I listened to AFK with Ninja, and I want to know if you could pick, I'm going to throw my own soft lock in here. If you could pick 3 apps to keep on your phone, not including the ones that come with your phone, what would they be?
Okay, so currently on my phone, the games that I have installed are Pokemon Go, Marvel Snap, WrestleQuest, Rocket League Sideswipe, Mayhem, and Supercard.
Damn, okay. I got Wrestling Revolution 3D, Superstar Hockey, Wrestling Empire, which I paid for some reason, Pokemon Go, Snap, Sideswipe, 80s Mania Wrestling Revolution, AEW Rise to the Top, Sonic 2, AEW Elite GM, Tap Baseball, and Family Feud.
You have so many more apps on your phone or games on your phone than I do.
I definitely don't play them all, and that's in a group that also has Steam Link, MLB The Show Connect, PS App, PS Remote, and Xbox.
Why do you have Steam Link?
Because I could play on, what's it called? My Razer Quiche.
Oh,
I haven't done it yet, but I can.
That's true.
Yeah.
I just learned that you can do that with, you can Steam Link a Raspberry Pi. And I'm very interested in doing that.
That's pretty cool.
3 apps. You want to do that as a part of the soft lock? Or you want to do that
No,
now?
hit me with it right now. 3 apps you keep on your phone.
I got to think about that, man. That's tough.
Instagram. I go on Instagram all the time.
Yeah, I think
Twitch.
I'm trying to think if I
or
want Twitch or YouTube. Yeah, I think I'm going Instagram, YouTube, and Discord.
My last one's Spotify.
Oh shit, yeah. Well,
I
I could listen to music on YouTube.
But I do podcasts on Spotify, music on Apple Music because it's free for me with my phone plan.
That's tough.
I like the podcast more than I like the music, so
That's tough. Yeah. All right. I think I'm with you. Instagram, I think is a go. I'm going Instagram, YouTube, Spotify. I don't need your Twitch. I'm sorry.
okay. But with that, let's ask away. Let's get into the softball.
Whispered soft lock threw me off. All right, the soft lock is.
Did you say threw me off or turned me on?
No, I say you threw me off because you had this big build up and you were just like, and now it's time to get into the soft lock.
Hey.
Just threw me for a loop. Wasn't expecting it.
You know.
All right, the soft lock is a weekly segment on this podcast where one of our mega marks from our Patreon gives us a question to answer, a topic to debate. It's just a question of the week with a fancy name. This week comes from Soups, Mr. Jamie Patterson.
In the chat, I think.
Oh, yes. And Soups' question is, congrats. You are getting an action figure. What 2 accessories would you want your action figure to come with? I actually have an answer.
He actually asked if Swoggle would be yours.
Oh, no, we got to do like a Build-A-Swoggle.
Yeah, he'd be like your little
You get
Dominic.
half, I get half. And then it's just top half, bottom half. No, so I want the gold controller from FWF.
Need that.
And I'm assuming like a hat counts. Like a hat is already included. Like I get the hat,
included.
I get my glasses. I'm just thinking like, okay, I have the GMP track jacket, hat, glasses. I'm gonna have my my chain with the controller, and then maybe a headset.
Chain with a controller and a headset.
I'm trying to think what my other accessory would be. Maybe Oh, I'll come with Bob, the training dummy.
Yes, okay. Bob the training dummy. I did use a hockey.
Clash at the Feast belt.
That's a pretty good one too.
That's a good one.
I know mine's
too.
not coming with that. I would want mine to come with a hockey stick because I used it against Mark to win the title for the first time. Pulled it from out of the ring. I did a little skate motion. I slapped him in the ass with it.
I think I was there.
You probably were. And maybe like if you got the controller, maybe I'll come with like Mayhem or something. A little cartridge. A few cartridges.
I was trying to think if there was anything you
maybe
didn't
a
have
full
any.
Xbox.
Oh, that
little
would be cool.
Xbox that it just breaks in half.
And if you have your Mighty Duck style shirt, the hockey stick makes sense.
There you go. You made that
I'm
shirt.
trying to think.
It's
You
my
didn't
favorite.
have any accessories in the FWF stuff.
No. One time I came to the ring, it was a Halloween show and a mask. That was really it.
Johnny Clash,
I didn't do
not a
anything
big
cool.
gimmick guy.
Not a big gimmick guy, you know? I let my actions speak.
Honestly, I think we should both come with the Clash at the Feast belts because you made it. And that was such a staple for so long in the podcast that, like,
How about this? Clash at the Feast tag team belts.
love that.
There we go. There's your answer.
Are we starting a series where we just start
Nope.
taking on other wrestlers in, in wrestling games?
Oh, I could call out a few.
That would be cool.
But all right. That's Softlock. Let us know what you think now.
And what apps on your phone you couldn't
And
live
what
without?
apps
You
on
get
your
3
phone?
apps.
So AFK asked that to every single guest. But then from that, I watched New Heights also. They started asking it from, it has to be from AFK because they worded it exactly the same. And it was like a fan question. So it had to be a crossover.
Okay.
And now I'm asking you. So
That's a good question. All right, so that is the Softlock, and John, it is now time for you to let us know what we are playing next week on the podcast.
we are playing Giant Graham 2000 All Japan Pro Wrestling 3.
Going back to the Dreamcast.
We played 2 over 100 episodes ago. So
Oh my God.
yeah, this is it.
Wow, this
Should
is
be a fun one.
I think this might be the last, aside from Attitude Warzone ports. I think this might be, we might be winding down the Dreamcast games.
Let's see. Let's do a deep dive right now. Giant Graham 2, Giant Graham 3, Hardcore Revolution, Anarchy Rules, Tokan Retsuden 4. I don't know if we did that yet.
I don't think we did.
Attitude,
we have
Royal
not done
Rumble,
4.
Fire Pro D. I think we did. So
We
yeah,
did.
just that one. We're good.
All right. Tokan Retsuden 4 and Giant Graham 2000, which is the third All Japan Pro Wrestling game.
Sounds good to me.
All right. Guys, youtube.com/GameMarks podcast for our weekly playthrough videos, exclusive content, and more, including this week and all other week episodes. GameMarksPod.com/shop for all of our exclusive merchandise. ProWrestlingTees.com/GameMarksPod for all of our shirts. Patreon.com/GameMarksPod for this show, early and ad-free access to show notes, and you can be a part of the live recording with John and I and Soups and whoever else decides to join us. And make sure to follow along on all forms of social media at GameMarksPod, and make sure to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and leave us a review and a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or wherever you choose to listen to your podcast. And if you have a product or service that you'd like to advertise on this podcast, please reach out to us at GameMarksPod@gmail.com. Johnny Clash, what you reading over there?
Just reading this here raw book. Game over. Marks.
Game Marks podcast, put them on the radar. Playing rare games, Sega Saturn, no Game Shark. Johnny and George work hard and they play hard. Future endeavor games and put them in the graveyard. From the deep dive to the Clash at the Feast. How can I get more? That's question of the week. Follow on Twitch, there's nothing that they won't play. Game Marks podcast every single Monday.